All right, well, this is what I call the cool down session of the interview. This is where I just ask you a couple leisurely questions just to kind of cool it down a little bit since we talked about so much. Tell me about some of those leisurely activities that you do. Is it swimming, hiking, running, dancing? What do you do on your free time when you're not so busy with SDS Capital?
Yeah, I wish I had more time to do art. I love painting. And it was funny, when COVID hit, I thought we were going to slow down at the company. Like the kids are home from school, everybody's working from home. It's March 2020. So I put a big Costco table out and we put all the paints on it. And literally 6 months later, we were so busy at SDS actually launching our homeless fund at that time during COVID. After 6 months, I'm like, I guess I should put the art table away. We haven't done art one single day during COVID. So I have not had leisure time to do that part. But one thing I have been doing more to focus on my health, because I got very unhealthy the last decade with the hours I work and the way I was eating and not working out. I was starting to have health issues. So I really kind of stepped back and I started doing these big annual hikes about 1.5 years ago. So it would force me to train. So 6 other girlfriends of mine, we did the Inca Trail in Peru about 18 months ago. So I had to really train for that to be in shape to do, hiking in the Andes. And last summer, did a big hike with 5 people total, the Camino Santiago in Spain, kind of an old pilgrimage to this small town, a lot of religious significance to the town. We were doing it more for the experience. And it was 100 miles in 7 days, which was a little bit grueling. And then I'm training now 7 girlfriends and myself. We're all going to go to Mont Blanc in France next July, and we're doing 7 days of hiking. And, we're at about 8,000 to 12,000 feet up, doing about 9 to 12 miles a day. And we're doing 3,000 to 4,000 vertical a day.
Oh my God.
So that's probably going to be the hardest hike of those 3. So I just kicked off my training, and I've got a lot to do to be able to handle that, but it'll keep me focused.
Oh my gosh. And when is this?
That's in July.
It's coming up.
This summer. So yeah, I gotta get training. It's around the corner.
and what's that weather? Is it hot in that altitude? Okay.
Too high.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think the heat will be the issue. The vertical each day is going to be the issue. Doing 3,000 to 4,000 vertical is more than I'm certainly used to, and at elevation. So.
Well, look, Debbie, be careful. We need you doing great things out here in this world. So that sounds like an amazing experience, as well as physical training session, but. Be careful. Yeah, it'll be great. I'm sure you guys will have a lot of fun. And it's also cool that you're hanging out with 7 girlfriends.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice thing that we've developed. It's a neat. And then we do hikes in between to train for it. And yeah, it's become something we're kind of focused on doing the harder ones now, because as we get older, they'll need to get easier and easier. So it's like, okay, let's do the ones that 10 years from now we know we're not going to want to do.
Yeah. And you know what, Debbie? Now that I think about it, this sounds like it could be a script for a movie out there in LA. 7 girlfriends hiking the most dangerous terrain known to man. That would be a great movie. So. Yeah, cut me in on some of that if you actually start filming and create a movie like that. But okay, so what about other leisurely things you're doing? What are you watching on Netflix lately?
I just started Constellation, which is interesting, kind of thriller. Oh, but my husband and I just finished Slow Horses on Slow Horse. It's a British series on MI5, the spy agency, and it's sort of like the flunk outs from the MI5, but it's a great series. I love it. I'm kind of into spy stuff, so I enjoy when there's a good series about those types of things.
Okay, cool. And then I guess the last leisurely question I'll ask you: Who have been like the three most influential people in your life?
Well, for sure, my parents, without a doubt, just seeing how hard they both worked, growing up, running just a small family run grocery store, as I mentioned. And just they were sticklers for always do the right thing. There's only one right way, do the right thing, even if that's the hard decision. It's really the right decision. They were always such great supporters of mine on everything I've been endeavoring to do. So certainly the two of them take the top two spots. And then along the way, I think I was just fortunate. There's no one person, but I really had some great mentors, whether it was at my internships or different jobs. My partner, Belden Daniels, I mentioned, we partnered on new market tax credits. That was my first joint venture. And Belden is, 35 years older than I am. He's retired now, but I have to say, without that partnership, there would be no SDS Capital Group today, because and it wasn't just the fact that he had the track record to help us get our first money. It was that he was just such a great mentor, and he had built his own company over the years. So he knew all the struggles I was dealing with. So he was always just such a great sounding board and always calm and helped me think through things. And he was the original impact person. I mean, going back to when Ireland had its first peace funds, he helped launch those. When Eastern Europe, the wall came down, he had offices in Eastern Europe, kind of launching what would now be called the first impact venture fund. So those would be the top people, along with my husband and friends. Yeah. I've been really fortunate. I have great people around me. I'm really lucky in that way. So
awesome.
Really grateful.
Cool. It's always great to reflect.